Hi, and welcome to my channel, Countdown to Armageddon. Today I'd like to talk about a dream I had in 2009. And in the dream, I was told that I would have 7 years without trouble. And that was the dream. And that means that I would have no trouble, or a time without trouble until the end of 2015. But 2016 was going to be you assume if you have 7 years without trouble, what happens at the end of the 7 years? You probably think trouble. And that's what I thought. So anyway, since I had that dream, I was looking for possibly what could happen in 2016 that could be the end of my beautiful time without trouble and the beginning of trouble. At one point during those years, I was in a garage sale, and I got talking to the guy who was having the garage sale, and he just happened to know some people in the Canadian government, or people who knew people in the Canadian government that were high up in the Canadian government, and he had found out that the American dollar, the US dollar, had been slated to be devalued in the year 2016. And he was concerned about it, and I found it very interesting because of the dream I had, that it would be 7 years without trouble beginning in 2016. So this seemed to play in pretty good with the dream that I had. And I got thinking about how there would be 7 years without trouble and ending in the beginning of a time of trouble, let's say. And I thought, well, I have to pray about this because, I don't want 7 years without trouble followed by a time of trouble. So I prayed a lot that whatever this time of trouble was, it could be delayed or stopped, and that I could have another 7 years without trouble. And I did pray that. And I believe there were people all over the United States, Canada, the world even, praying that trouble would be averted. If you're familiar with a pastor named Lindsey Williams, he was a pastor on the pipeline. I believe it was the Trans-Canada pipeline many, many years ago. And in his endeavors there, he gotten involved with the people who were building this pipeline. And it turned out they were like the cabal, whatever you want to call them, the elites that control the world. There's just, whoever those people are. And he was befriended by one of these elites who over the years told him all kinds of things about what they were planning and they were going to do. And according to his friend, or whoever was the people who were, informing him, 2016 was the year that the Illuminati, the cabal, the elites, whatever you want to call them, was planning on doing something in the United States with the election. After the election, they were planning, I guess, on doing exactly what this guy told me in the garage sale about, that the Canadian people high up in the Canadian government had talked about this, the dollar being devalued. This was the plan, apparently. And when Donald Trump won the election, apparently he was not supposed to win the election, but he won the election anyway. And according to Pastor Lindsey Williams, the elite said God intervened. And they don't even believe in God, but it was such a miracle that Donald Trump won that election that was their statement: God intervened. And I think this was really, truly an answer to prayer of many, many people in the States and elsewhere praying for, trouble to be averted. Whatever you may think about Donald Trump, he's just a man. He makes mistakes like everybody else, but God can use anybody for any purpose. Moses was a murderer and God used him. So I'm not saying that Donald Trump is as bad as a murderer. I'm just saying God can use anybody. And I think he is using Donald Trump. And last night I had another dream. And as I was waking up, a voice said, about Donald Trump. I knew it was Donald Trump. And the voice said, he better get in again or else. And I believe the or else is simply, there's that trouble coming back again that everyone has prayed to delay. In another dream about the United States, I was told that it would be a slow decline, that it wouldn't be like, boom, a big event, that it would, maybe I'm not saying there won't be a stock market crash and all kinds of things, but the decline of the economy, the decline of the dollar would be a slow death. But it's coming. I think the handwriting's on the wall. So whatever kind of man Donald Trump is, good or bad, or a mixture of both, as most people are, he is some kind of stopgap between prosperity and whatever the heck trouble is coming after him. And after he leaves office, there will be trouble. That's my conclusion from all this guidance I've been receiving. So even if you don't like him, you might want to think twice about how much you want rid of him, because when he goes, I believe there's going to be big trouble. And that's what I believe my guidance is telling me. I believe that's what God is telling me. So there you have it. Love him or hate him, you need him. And God is using him right now as a stopgap measure before this trouble that's coming breaks out. So just appreciate that. So there's just a little more guidance to consider. You may believe it, you may not believe it, but I had the dreams. I do believe God spoke to me. I think I've interpreted things right, but you can always interpret things wrong. And maybe we can pray and delay it again. If everyone gets together and prays, maybe God will give us some more mercy and give us another period without trouble. I just don't think it can go on forever. But, maybe it can be made lesser, maybe it can be made, something that's not as horrible. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth, and I want to thank you for watching my channel, and have a great day, and God bless you.